For the last 4 years, the VA treated this Navy veteran for a disc and arthritis problem, a deadly misdiagnosis. It's not a disc issue and it's not osteoarthritis. It is stage 4 cancer.
Renal cell cancer that metastasized, and it is spreading everywhere. According to Target A senior investigative reporter Steve Andrews, the VA at Bay Pines missed that.
As you can imagine, this family is outraged and distraught, because they know what lies ahead is not good. Navy veteran Lonnie Kilpatrick is too sick, weak, and in too much pain to get out of bed. For the last 4 years, the VA told him his back pain was herniated discs and osteoarthritis. His wife, Sheila.
They missed the cancer.
Lonnie and his family recently learned he has stage 4 renal cell cancer.
I went from having osteoarthritis to having metastasized bone cancer all over my body. How the hell do you do that, you know?
Daughter Carrie is a nurse case manager.
He saw every doctor they sent him to. How did they miss that?
Lonnie received a heart transplant in 2010. The VA also found what it called a cyst on his kidney. It was no cyst.
Cancer was there in 2010.
The VA performed a surgical procedure in 2014.
The guy told me I was cancer-free, that there was no signs of active cancer.
Back pain persisted.
Couldn't even stand hunched over. Like I'm walking, looking at the floor.
Records show Lonnie called the VA repeatedly.
He should have been getting CAT scans to make sure it hadn't metastasized.
No CAT scans.
They kept giving him hydrocodone.
By January, Lonnie had lost 40 pounds. The VA doctor ordered a CAT scan.
They wanted a CT scan, what they called STAT. They scheduled it for 3 weeks out.
A STAT CAT scan means today or tomorrow.
They took him to Florida Hospital.
And they came back and said, he's got cancer. And it's everywhere.
Lonnie even said to me the other day, he said, they signed my death certificate. The VA signed my death certificate by not treating me for cancer, by not checking me.
You know, you're gonna lose him. And that could have been prevented if the VA had followed up.
Now, to add insult to injury, the VA has fought the Kilpatricks every step of the way, paying for Lonnie's diagnosis and treatment outside of Bay Pines. And we're working with some folks to see if we can help the family receive some VA disability benefits that Lonnie might be entitled to. This is just a horrible
Sad,
story.
very sad.
Yeah. For a change, veteran Lonnie Kilpatrick's family got some good news.
Words can't even say how much we appreciate what you've done.
After 8 years of delays and denial, the VA reversed its course. It approved Lonnie's claim that exposure to Agent Orange left him 100% disabled.
I was like, it's finally time they do something right.
For years, the VA got it wrong. Its doctors diagnosed Lonnie's back pain as arthritis-related. Rushed to a civilian hospital in agony, he and his family were stunned to learn the pain was really stage 4 kidney cancer.
Medically, they have misdiagnosed him. Everything they could have done wrong, the VA has done wrong.
Stationed on Guam during the Vietnam War, Lonnie claims his work near airfields exposed him to the toxic defoliant Agent Orange.
I got extremely sick.
Doctors diagnosed Lonnie in 2010 with ischemic heart disease, a condition linked to Agent Orange exposure. He received a heart transplant. For 8 years, the VA delayed, then this month denied Lonnie's claim his heart condition is Agent Orange related.
They've abandoned me and they've abandoned everybody else.
I contacted Congressman Gus Bilirakis about this case. He asked the Department of Defense to open Lonnie's classified records, and there it was.
It was definitely clear that he worked in a particular area where Agent Orange was definitely sprayed.
He requested the VA reverse its denial. It did.
You know, I mean, it's good work, man. Good work.
Good work for you.
Thank you for contacting me.
Oh, hey.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for carrying the ball. These new benefits allow Sheila to stay where she belongs, at Lonnie's bedside.
I thank you, and God bless all of y'all.
Without you, 8 on your side, we would still be in the same position we were 10 years ago, 8 years ago.
The benefits are retroactive to 2010. Unable to work since Lonnie became really sick, this will help Sheila pay the bills and keep the house. A bright moment in an otherwise dark time. In Hillsborough County, Steve Andrews, News Channel 8.
Well, a tragic and sad update to a Target 8 story tonight. A Bay Area veteran that we helped win his long fight for benefits with the VA loses his battle with cancer. With family at his bedside, 67-year-old Navy veteran Lonnie Kilpatrick died this weekend.
The VA had determined that Lonnie's back pain was arthritis. Turned out it was stage 4 cancer. Target A senior investigator Steve Andrews was told as Lonnie drifted away that he asked his family to help other veterans. His dying wish, I guess.
Yeah, really. You know, one of his daughters actually recorded some of her dad's last words. And as Keith said, as he drifted away, he told his family, make this count. Use his case, his death, to open the door for others. As his wife held Lonnie Kilpatrick's hand, his daughter Cassie recorded some of his last words. He said there's a reason for everything, his struggle with the VA, his impending death.
Make something out of it. Make it count.
We met Lonnie in February, shortly after he learned stage 4 kidney cancer had spread through his body.
That hit me like a ton of bricks.
For good reason. For 4 years, doctors at Bay Pine said his back pain was arthritis and disc-related.
Just couldn't get nobody to take it serious that, hey, I've lost, 50 pounds.
The VA treated Lonnie for kidney cancer in 2013, pronounced him cancer-free, then missed its recurrence. Daughter Carrie.
You know, you're going to lose him. And that could have been prevented if the VA had followed up.
You know, I'm mad because this should never have happened. This should never happen to anybody.
The VA balked at paying for Lonnie's outside medical treatment. I asked why. They said it's taken care of. What hadn't been taken care of, Lonnie's Agent Orange claim. He believed his heart disease was tied to the toxic herbicide. The VA denied his claim. Once I got Congressman Gus Bilirakis involved, the VA discovered evidence of Agent Orange exposure while Lonnie was stationed on Guam. It paid him benefits retroactive to 2010.
I thank you, and God bless all of y'all.
3 weeks later, from his deathbed in a weakened voice, Lonnie asked his family to reach out to other veterans.
Take some time and think about it and help them. Amen. I can't talk no more.
Afterward, Lonnie didn't reopen his eyes, didn't speak another word. Cassie recorded one last moment with the man she knows as Daddy. Saturday night, at the age of 67, Lonnie Kilpatrick, a veteran who right up until January swore by the VA's medical treatment and care, died.
Steve, we talked all along. This was not unexpected. I think the family saw this coming. He saw this coming. Still so terribly sad to be in this situation.
It really was. I think we were all pulling for him, hoping for a miracle of some sort, but it just didn't happen. And, you know, another case of the VA's delay, deny until they die. This is just so outrageous and really, really sad.
And our heart goes out to his family.
Absolutely.
So sad.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Steve.
Birth defects and illnesses showing up in the children and now the grandchildren of veterans contaminated by poison. Is it evidence or coincidence? Tens of thousands of American soldiers and sailors, along with their children, are suffering severe health problems because they were exposed to or sprayed with a powerful toxic weed killer.
Yeah, it's an herbicide called Agent Orange. It was widely used by the military during the Vietnam War era. It had a horrible effect on veterans as well as their children, but listen to this. Target A senior investigative reporter Steve Andrews says that's just kind of the tip of the iceberg. This goes on beyond that second or third generation.
You know, Agent Orange is perhaps one of the deadliest concoctions ever created. Wherever sprayed, it wiped out jungle growth where the enemy hid. It causes cancer, leukemia in veterans, birth defects in their children, now concerns they're passing down poison to their grandchildren. She looks like any 9-year-old playing with her dog. But Emma Ackerson has a list of medical conditions that keeps getting longer.
I don't know why.
Emma suffers headaches, stomach pain, muscle fatigue, and heart problems.
All of a sudden, she gets pale, she gets dark circles under her eyes, and you either have to lay her down on the floor or you have to pick her up because she'll pass out.
According to her mom, Carrie, Emma's problems stem from a birth defect called Charip malformation.
It's a structural defect in the brain where part of the brain is going down into the spinal column.
It's a condition associated with Agent Orange exposure. Emma's grandfather, Navy veteran Lonnie Kilpatrick, was exposed to the toxic herbicide while on Guam. It destroyed his heart.
Unbelievable.
After an 8-year struggle, 8 on Your Side assisted Lonnie in obtaining Agent Orange benefits from the VA. He died weeks later from cancer the VA missed. Sheila Kilpatrick, Emma's grandmother, also lived on Guam in an apartment complex near jungle that was also sprayed.
All my kids, they all have something, heart problems.
Carrie was diagnosed with heart trouble at age 20.
I black out probably 20 times a day. Every time I stand up, my vision goes black. I wake up in the middle of the night feeling like I'm gonna die.
Carrie was also born with Chiari malformation. Many of Emma's and Carrie's medical issues show up on lists of illnesses associated with Agent Orange. The VA dismisses most as not connected. Leroy Foster claims he sprayed Agent Orange on Guam. He has 28 autoimmune diseases and terminal cancer. Leroy's granddaughter was born with 24 fingers and toes.
I carry terrible guilt because of all these children I've hurt and all the unborn children that died that didn't have a chance to live.
Betty Menakisi, Executive Director of Birth Defect Research for Children, is gathering data on children of veterans who served in Vietnam, where the military sprayed millions of gallons of Agent Orange.
I am absolutely convinced by the data that there is something significant going on in the children of Vietnam veterans.
She claims studies to date are insufficient and chides the VA for dragging its feet on research mandated by Congress.
I know that industry doesn't want these connections made, but if it's happening, it's happening. It isn't going to go away because you don't like the answer.
At age 6, Emma underwent corrective brain surgery. Her symptoms returned within weeks.
She asks, why is she being punished? And I try to explain, I'm like, you're not being punished. We have to find a cure.
At night, it's worse.
When I get in the bed, after a few minutes, I just start feeling hot, sweaty.
Emma wears a cooling vest and ice packs to help maintain her body temperature. And then there's the pain.
But when you have to lay in bed every night and watch your child suffer and there's nothing you can do, I feel like I apologize to her all the time, but I can't help her.
Now, according to Betty Menakisi, birth defects are caused by many factors, not just exposure to Agent Orange. But data at Birth Defect Research for Children shows among children of Vietnam veterans, there is an increase in learning, attention, immune, endocrine, and skin disorders. Incidence of birth defects also will be greater among children of veterans who actually handled the agent or sprayed it, and of course those who were sprayed.
Yeah, as you showed in that report. It's just awful. It's hard to watch. But if you're a parent and you have a child, how do you go about talking about this, and what do you do next if you think that their grandparents or somehow they were exposed to this? Yeah,
you kind of feel lost. I mean, the Vietnam Veterans of America urges veterans to file a claim with the VA. Now, expect it to be denied, okay? But it's important for them to get registered. Also, register with Birth Defect Research for Children. There's a link to their website on our web page. The Vietnam Veterans Association of America says it's received reports that children of veterans, grandchildren of veterans, even great-grandchildren of veterans.
You said maybe 7 generations?
Well, the laboratory tests show possibly 7 generations are affected. Goodness. We're talking 3 here.
Yeah.
Who knows what we're talking about at this point?
Incredible.
It's sad.
Staggering, yes.